Next chapter begins. Inte looking at a dirty picture, dirty magazine. Witnessing this, Yongi asks him a rhetorical question as what he thinks he's doing in the infirmary. Inte simply answers it. Chapter starts, and the title of this chapter is Blackmail. Yongi, seeing Inte's nonchalant behavior, tells him there's a difference between infirmary and a break room, and this is quite inappropriate to read that sort of thing in front of a female staff member, meaning her. Inte, in response, abruptly closes the magazine and offers her to read it. Annoyed by his acts, she decides to ignore him and work. However, listening to him compare all those pictures with batteries as he was initially doing, can't help herself asking why he keep listing battery types when there's nothing like batteries featuring in the magazine. Inte explains what he's actually referring to, and he's been comparing battery sizes to breast sizes. Meanwhile, without a care, tells Yongi she is beyond the spectrum in terms of batteries. Yeah, harassment. Okay, I shouldn't laugh, but the way it has been portrayed in the manhwa is really funny. After which he rightfully gets knocked off by her. Again, after some time, Inte asked Yongi if she likes manga while she was having coffee. And she tries to shrug it off very rigorously. Why I'm saying this is because while she's saying it, no, she does not like manhwa or manga, at the same time talks about its different genres and features in Inte caught on. While inquiring how he came to know about this, he explains how on her first day, along with her greeting, she unknowingly gave a reference to manga meme. Yongi finds it shameful. The scene shifts to the same day, him asking her to bring Americano, while she was on her way to get a coffee for herself. In response of this, she just makes some instant coffee while she contemplates on how she lets a student exploit her like this. A student enters complaining of sprained wrist due to playing soccer in the field. Yongi touches the wrist and tries to examine as the same got a bit swollen. Meanwhile, the guy begins to flirt with her and moves on to ask if she has a boyfriend when his attention shifts to Inte sitting on the infirmary bed holding a muscular guy picture which he tears from the neck to scare off the guy. And that poor guy got so scared he didn't take anything for the cure and immediately ran off, saying he's better now. Later on, while Yongi questions of how this wasn't right, Inte tells her nobody is suffering more than him while keeping a straight face. We also witness how Inte actually exploits Yongi and get her to buy ice cream for both of them. In all these instances, Yongi one way or the other tells Inte to go back to the class already. And they also had a little tussle where Inte doesn't let her leave by pinning her to the bed until the ice cream all melts away. But Yongi, kicking him in the leg, ties him where he again starts to tell her that he's not into bondage. He and his antiques. Later, while going through the corridor, Yongi thinks to herself how this has all made her workplace complicated, especially since Inte know that she's into manga and how it's best to not run into him. Just as this thought comes into her mind, Inte appears peeping through the class window. Guys, I don't know where are the teachers at this point. Maybe it's recess time. Inte again coming out the class asks her to get dinner with him, for which he'll pay with his own money. Meanwhile, you know the high school types. The other students are gossiping about Yongi as how the new infirmary teacher is hot. Yongi tries to come out as a resolved faculty member and tells him off that it is a wrong idea and he should also stop coming to infirmary as people might get the wrong idea about them. But do you guys think Inte would ever listen? No. And so he takes out a book or maybe a comic of BL as what it seems from the picture in front of Yongi. And the chapter ends. Now, what is this book actually about? Why Inte flashes this book in front of Yongi? What does Yongi have to do with this comic? We'll all know later in next video. Until then, adios.